Welcome back to another edition of the number one podcast in your headphones, Prem Brulee.
Yeah.
That's right. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't ever play yourselves. I'm your host, Premalbot, and today I am joined in a small gathering, mind you, by my best friend and bro, Jeff Robison. Jeff is famous for being on Twitter just for sports news. He's famous for being better at texting than talking. He's been my best friend since we were in middle school.
Great.
And we enable each other's degenerate, superstitious behaviors, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Wow, what an intro, Prim. Oh, this feels so good to have a mic in front of my face. I've had so many hot takes that have been building up all winter, all spring.
And now in isolation. All right, so without further ado, let's get going on Yeah Fam or Nah. Jeff, you know the drill. You're a number one podcast listener. Now you're a number one podcast contributor. And of course, you know we had to start off with COVID-19, coronavirus, and the canceling of sports. So all leagues suspended play. Most of them postponed, but amongst those that were canceled are the NCAA tournaments for men's and women's basketball. So, I mean, I kind of guess what you're feeling with this. But yeah, fam or nah, do canceling of sports in reaction to COVID.
Oh, Prim, this is a layup for your first yeah fam or nah for me. This is an easy yeah fam for me. I mean, I absolutely love March Madness. I know you do too. I was looking forward to this weekend just like everybody else, but we got to save people from themselves, man. I mean, we got Mike DeWine over here closing bars, closing barbershops. It's a time that I think and you're in the public health industry. You know better than anybody else. I'm team no sports for upcoming now, and to be honest with you, I wanted to get your take on this about how long you think this might even last, too.
Yeah, so I agree with you. As much as this sucks, I'm a FM. My profession is public health by trade, and like you said, I think people need to be safe from themselves. We can't trust people not to gather if you don't outright prevent them from it. I mean, we flat out saw everybody who's listening. You might have been guilty of this.
Don't ever play yourself. Don't ever play
So yeah,
yourself.
I'm calling
Don't
you
ever
out.
play
Whatever.
yourself.
Oh, you can
Don't
call
ever
me out.
play
I was at
yourself.
Winking Lizard on Sunday.
Exactly. So people were out for St. Patty's Day, and I think that in our particular case, we're in Ohio. You mentioned Governor DeWine. I think he saw that, and we have to be protected by ourselves. I will say this regarding your question: we haven't hit the peak yet. You've heard plenty of talks about flattening the curve, and part of flattening the curve is delaying the peak and lessening the peak. So that also means, both those things also mean that we are not there yet, and we aren't going to be for a little bit. I've heard estimations into summer, June and July. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. Now, I don't think this way of living will be forever. I know people are struggling out there, but for right now, it's important that people stop that spread right away right now.
Well, you also see on Twitter all throughout the day, college kids on spring break, not caring whatsoever, celebrities like Vanessa Hudgens going on there saying it's not big of a deal. We have to save people from themselves, and some of these millennials are making us look bad, Prim. They really are.
And please don't play yourself and group everyone together, because there are some responsible people out there. But if you know of anyone that's being that dumb, you just got to hope they don't impact someone that, because I have to think not all those stupid spring breakers that we've seen on video, I'm sure some of them at least have some unhealthy people at home, some with compromised immune systems, some elderly. So they're legitimately, that is the most selfish act you can take. So I want you to know there's always going to be trips, but you can't get that time back with people you love. And not everyone's as healthy as those fucking spring breakers.
And, Prim, I'm sure you'll touch on it later, but isn't it ironic how Rudy Gobert is kind of the first player that started all this and getting all of these games canceled? Isn't it ironic how touching mics and laughing about it and not taking it seriously, and he's the one who kind of started all of this?
I have a bonus for you. So, with the cancellation of March Madness especially, but brings into fact other sports that get canceled. You know, there's probably wrestling fans out there, collegiate wrestling fans, all the sports in the winter. Should senior athletes in the NCAA get an extra year of eligibility? Worth noting, the NCAA granted spring athletes an extra year, but apparently they are unlikely to do so with the winter athletes, so Most of us think in terms of college basketball, the season was almost done, so they didn't grant eligibility to them. So what's your take on this?
This is probably a little more complicated than it seems on the surface, right? I'm all for spring athletes getting another year of eligibility. Now, I guess that begs the question, will the NCAA expand rosters for basketball? And because that's kind of a winter sport going into spring, baseball, lacrosse, how that works with scholarship allotments, I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on that part of it? But overall, I am a fam on this one.
So I'm surprisingly a nah, and I think you're kind of getting into it. The reason why I'm a nah is I think they need to give an extra year to everyone.
I can see that. Yeah, that makes sense.
The reason I say that is, like, if you give seniors an extra year, the people that have been waiting behind them, who made decisions on schools, waiting for their chance, putting in the work for their opportunity, to then say, just kidding, you don't get an extra year, but here's this guy coming back that you thought was going to be gone, this guy or girl. I think if you're going to give an extra year, especially in the case of these smaller sports, that everyone needs to be granted an extra year if they want it.
Prim, this doesn't seem on brand for you. I am kind of surprised by this take from you.
I feel like, so I think in terms of a classic bench warmer. So if I was even a little bit better and I was waiting behind someone, I wouldn't want someone fucking back in front
Yeah, I
of me,
get that. That makes total sense.
We got to think about the mathletes.
Well, that's true.
They might never see the floor again.
Yeah, I mean, let's get real here. This is mostly about college basketball, and that's really what it's about, right?
Yeah, we wanted to see big names actually compete in the tournament. You have in the women's game, one of the biggest names is Sabrina Ionescu and with Oregon, and we'll never get to see her senior year tournament. I mean,
that's a good
sure,
point.
she won her conference one, but every person has a favorite team who might not get to see a player, and it was cut short unexpectedly. Let's go on to the news that's kept us afloat in this weird time. And that is the NFL offseason and the new league year officially beginning, and whatever the fucking legal tampering period is called. I don't get it.
Our favorite time of year, Prem. Free agency and the start of the NFL season, buddy.
This appeals to Jeff and I's degenerate ways, our video game ways, trying to make moves, because you can always better your franchise. There's always an opportunity to get better.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so first off, talked about it in previous episodes, but the collective bargaining agreement, the CBA did in fact pass. It was a very close vote, to the tune of 1,019 votes to 959. It was that close. If you remember, it just took a simple majority to win, so they achieved that. So there will be a 17th game. There will be extra teams on each side, and just the one seed will get playoff spot. So real quick, are you fam to that or nah?
This is actually a complicated one for me, Prim, because I'm both. Is that allowed on this podcast?
We usually like you to take a side here.
Whew. Okay, I'm a nah fam then.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a nah fam. Now, I want to first say that I'm for the players on this, right? This is going to help the second-tier players, the backups, the young guys get extra money while they can, right? This isn't about the Aaron Rodgers. This isn't about the J.J. Watts. This isn't about Richard Shermans, who have been the most vocal. They're already making a lot of money. This is about an increase in the minimum salary for these young guys that I think is important, and that I am for, in particular, to this CBA passing. Now, as a fan, nah. It's a big nah for me. I don't see the need for extra playoff games. I feel like it dilutes the regular season even more. I like the NFL playoff structure. I love the MLB playoff structure. Not a fan of the NHL. Not a fan of the NBA playoff structure. You have teams like in the NBA, like the Magic making it. It's gross. Now, the NFL is probably not the same case. You have some, 11-5, 10-6 teams that miss the playoffs sometimes that could definitely make a run in the playoffs. But
this past season would have been the Rams and the NFC as a 7th seed, and the Steelers and the AFC as the 7th seed, for what it's worth.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know that either one would move the needle. The Rams were pretty disappointing. I mean, they lost to my mediocre Cowboys in crunch time, and the Steelers didn't really have a quarterback all year, so I don't know that adds to it, but it would add to the wrinkle of making that one seed a little bit more valuable. But That's interesting. I dig that. I dig that half-ass answer, Jeffy.
Hey, you know what? I'm about the people. I'm Switzerland, as you and some others usually call me. I take the stance right in the middle.
Big Swiss.
Can't take a hard stance left or right, all right?
All right, now let's get to the goods here. There have been a lot of moves in the NFL already. So a quick recap. I'm not going to run through every single one, but I'll cover a good amount of them. And then you give me a few notes on some of the ones you liked. How about that?
Yeah, I like that.
All right, so first up, we have to talk about Tom Brady leaving the Patriots. Good fucking riddance. You played yourself in advance, Patriots. I just decided on a whim to fucking call you guys out, by the way. Anyway, Tom Brady moving on to Tampa Bay at around $30 million a year.
That's gross.
You hate it.
You already know my answer to this one. This is gross. The uniform's gross.
They are getting new ones, though.
I don't even care. I'm seeing Tom Brady in these disgusting Buccaneer uniforms and them being really badly photoshopped, and that's already gross.
FYI, Jeff is a Panthers fan. We don't know for how much longer, but stay tuned for that. Anyway, more on this one too later, but the other big news was that DeAndre Hopkins was traded from Houston to Arizona, and yes, that is not misspeak. DeAndre Hopkins was in fact traded to Arizona. The Texans and Cardinals completed a trade. Hopkins and a 4th-round pick went to Arizona in exchange for a 2nd-round pick, a 4th-round pick, some fucking popcorn from the vending machine, and David Johnson and his glass health report.
Well, on the surface, Prem, this is obviously a terrible trade, right, for the Texans. But when I initially saw it, I was like, oh, the Texans are going to get David Johnson back. And I was like, oh, maybe it's not so bad. But then you started bringing up points in our text exchange during the week. He got beat out, David Johnson, by Kenyon Drake. And he is made of glass, and I can't believe that was the only thing they got in return. No first-round picks. I don't know what Bill O'Brien is doing. I have no idea.
Bill O'Brien is not handling this quarantine well, I can tell you that. Okay. A few more moves. Byron Jones, big corner from Dallas, took a huge contract in Miami, the richest cornerback contract in history. 5 years, $82.5 million, 57 of it guaranteed. He moves on to Miami, who now has 2 very high-paid cornerbacks in Howard and Jones. Speaking of the Cowboys, they did re-sign Amari Cooper to the tune of $100 million over 5 years with 60 of it guaranteed.
Yeah, how do you feel about that contract, Prem?
I'm digging it. Honestly, if you would have told me that that's all you needed to trade for DeAndre Hopkins, maybe I would have thought differently, but I do love Amari Cooper. He has produced ever since the Cowboys gave up a first-round pick, and I think that's why it made it paramount for them to re-sign him.
Not to mention, it sounded like Washington was trying to get in on him as well. That was interesting for them.
And he took less, and I fucking love that. So I am all for this move. It also, personally, I know a lot of Cowboys fans were chomping at the bit at a chance of getting maybe someone like CeeDee Lamb in the first round. So I think signing Amari Cooper kind of lessens that. I was never for that move. I feel like there are bigger needs on the Cowboys than adding another receiver, so I hope this impacts that.
I thought it was a great deal as well, by the way.
I dig it. Okay, speaking of receivers, Stephon Diggs was traded from Minnesota to Buffalo. We kind of sensed it coming. Buffalo gave up a whole lot. More on that a little later when we talk a little bit more about Hopkins. But Diggs to Buffalo, getting quacking passes from Josh Allen.
Yeah, I have a weird feeling that this marriage between Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen is not going to be good long term, considering the fact that, like you said, Josh Allen throws ducks, overthrows, it's cold. I don't see this being a long-term marriage between the two, and Buffalo clearly really wanted him. First-round pick. It's amazing to me for Stephon Diggs, but
crazy.
From the Vikings' perspective, thoughts? What do you think?
Love it. I fucking love it because you pick up an extra pick, and those receivers I just talked about, they could get one of those guys for cheaper to pair with Thielen and less demanding of the ball. A rookie's not going to demand the same kind of attention. I think it is a slam dunk. When you can pick up a first-round pick anytime it's tough to pay 2 receivers, in my opinion. So.
Agree, and not to mention they get a 5th and a 6th in 2020 along with the 4th and 21, which is nothing to sneeze at either.
Exactly. Staying with receiver, Randall Cobb goes from Dallas to Houston. Houston, it's disrespectful to call it replace, but they signed Randall Cobb for a 3-year deal for $27 million. Good for him. kind of glad the Cowboys could not afford that. So while I would have loved for them to keep Cobb, he was productive. He actually stayed off the injury list last year. Good for him, but
is Cobb going to be their number one? I'm really confused. I mean, you think of Will Fuller, and he's going to be on the riding the bike. He's going to be riding the bike. That's going to be the all-glass team between David Johnson, Will Fuller, and Randall Cobb.
Honestly, they deserve it. Cleveland made a couple moves. They added Austin Hooper from Atlanta. They paid big money. They now pair Hooper with Njoku. Kevin Stefanski loves two tight ends. There's evidence from his time in Minnesota. I mean, they drafted Irv Smith while already having Kyle Rudolph. To be honest with you, as great of a tight end as Austin Hooper is, I don't get this deal. You have David Njoku. I feel like the Browns are going to have way too many mouths to feed. And this is off topic, but Baker, if he can't get it done this year, is he ever going to do it? And then they're going to have to start making decisions, because if they hold on to Baker, then that means they're not going to afford all these contracts. And speaking of contracts, they also signed Jack Conklin from Tennessee, the tackle.
PFF's 10th highest rated tackle. So yeah. I think this is a pretty good deal for the Browns.
It's a great deal. And Conklin, I think, was wise. He signed a shorter deal, a 3-year deal, so that he can hit the market before he turns 30 again. So smart on his part.
Yep, shores up the Brown offensive line. They needed a right tackle, like you mentioned. Now, they still have some major holes along that O-line, to be honest, but still some more free agency left.
They got to be thinking offensive line in the draft.
Oh, right? Absolutely. That's got to be left tackle for that first pick.
And there's plenty of them. We've talked about it. There are plenty of good offensive line prospects. You're looking at people like Tristan Wirfs, Jedrick Willis. All these guys are ripe for the taking in the draft in the first round. So it would be a mistake if the Browns don't take one of these talented tackles.
Prem, can we get like a live stream or pod going during the draft?
That's a great idea.
Do you know how many flaming hot takes and reactions you would have from the both of us?
Wow, now we have an idea. So Jeff over here is hosting a first round draft party, so that is a fucking idea and a half, and that might just happen. Okay, couple franchise tag folks. Of course, Dak Prescott. Cowboys need to get that deal done. I don't want to even. I'm trying to turn a new leaf here, so I'm not going to freak out until we start getting closer to the time where we're in crunch time, but they need to fucking figure it out.
What's the holdup here, Prem?
Apparently, Dak wants a shorter deal, and Dak wants like a 4-year deal so he can pull a Conklin and hit the market again to get paid. Smart by him. Cowboys want a 5-year deal. Just fucking sign the 4 that he wants. I don't get what the fucking point is. And then Derrick Henry is franchise tagged. The Titans decided to pay up to Ryan Tannehill.
Ew, gross.
$29.5 million a year.
That's disgusting.
$62 million guaranteed. It's a 4-year deal worth $118 million. Yikes.
That's disgusting, Prim. You're telling me, okay, the Titans, great defense, great running game, and then you just have a quarterback for the next 4 years. You're stuck with him. There's no turning back. That's it. You have Ryan Tannehill, and you're stuck with him.
You thought they were going to be in the Tom Brady sweepstakes, and I honestly would have loved that move because they have a talented roster, and he had the connection with Vrabel, but they decided to just pay up with Tannehill, and I guess we'll see what happens with Derrick Henry.
Agreed.
AJ Green was franchise tagged for the Bengals. We had Robert Quinn, who was a big get for the Cowboys. He led the team in sacks last year. He got paid. He got a 5-year deal in Chicago for $72 million. Kind of like Cobb. The Cowboys could not have paid that. They would have loved to keep him. He was productive.
Second highest generated pressure on pass rush in the entire NFL last year. He clearly deserved that kind of money.
He's going to benefit the same way, I think. He benefited from being across from DeMarcus Lawrence, and you have that even better with Khalil Mack on the Bears. So he should feast pretty well as long as he stays healthy. He led the team in sacks, even at being suspended the first 2 games. So he was very productive, and good for him for cashing in. Don't mind the Cowboys. The Cowboys could not have paid this money, so good for him. The Cowboys' losses in free agency were too pricey, and I'm glad they didn't try to fork over or overpay.
Okay, I'm kind of surprised by that, Prim. I thought you might wanted to keep Robert Quinn at least.
I would have loved to, but speaking of that move, they bolstered their defensive line by adding veteran Gerald McCoy. McCoy spent the last season with your Panthers.
I love it. I was kind of surprised. What is he, 6
coming.
per? I'm kind of surprised by that deal that the Cowboys were able to get him for that. I love it, actually.
I'm digging it. I was worried about the number originally, but I love that number for them. They're being very smart with it. There have been rumors for other big names. I don't want to get into rumors too much because it just gets my hopes up and it never pans out. I'm saving a couple for last, and I'm going to let you go on the last two that we know we need to talk about. But Drew Brees re-signs with the Saints. No-brainer. Finishes his... You hate Brees.
No. It's not that I don't hate Brees. He's an amazing quarterback. Retire already. Yeah, retire. He's going to be 50.
The only thing that happened to you is you added Tom Brady to your division, so
yep.
You hate to see it.
Yep.
We got to talk about our Buckeye. Malcolm Jenkins went back to New Orleans, the team that drafted him. Got released by Philly, went to New Orleans. He replaces a fellow Buckeye in Von Bell, who is still a free agent.
I need a new team.
Cough. Cowboys need some safety help because they lost Jeff Heath to the Raiders. The Cowboys lost 3 former players to the Raiders.
Yeah, what is that? That's really weird. I don't get the Jason Witten thing whatsoever. I
mean, again, I know this is blasphemy. I would have loved for him to finish his career with the Cowboys, but it tells you something how much power Mike McCarthy has. Jerry Jones openly said he wanted Witten to stay, and Mike McCarthy clearly did not want that. And Witten is in Las Vegas, and that should tell you everything you need to know about maybe actually giving the power that's needed to a new coach. So I love to see that. The Cowboys re-signed Sean Lee. They made a few wise financial moves by not spending money. They lose Jeff Heath, who weirdly enough was productive. He was nothing special, but he always found his way to turnovers, and hopefully they fill that void either in the draft, hint Xavier McKinney or Grant Delpit, or through free agency because there's some safeties out there. Hint
Von Bell. Oh, that's an easy one, Prem.
Yeah. And then the last few before I get to yours, Nick Foles was traded from Jacksonville after just 1 year to Chicago. He's going to put some pressure on Trubisky. Trubisky will feel pressure even without a rush. We all know that.
From the Bears' perspective, I get it. Anything is an upgrade over Mitch Trubisky, so you might as well take that shot, right?
And I think I heard this is like, at the very worst, they overpay for Foles and realize that Trubisky actually earned his spot. So I dig that logic. He's still on his rookie deal, so at least you kind of figure out what you need to do. And then Foles restructured his contract to make it a little bit more incentive for him and less risk for the Bears. So I dig it from their standpoint. And last but not least, I purposely saved this for you. So the Panthers gave permission to Cam Newton to seek a trade. Apparently, Carolina wasn't going to extend his contract and ushered him out despite a report that they gave him permission. He was quick to clarify that and said, no, I was forced out. The Panthers choose to then sign Teddy Bridgewater to a 3-year, $62 million deal as their new quarterback in the Matt Rule era. Jeff, your floor.
I feel my blood pressure raising just a little bit here. I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to yell.
This is the time.
No. I might curse. This is. I've only had about a little over 24 hours, maybe a little more, 36, to digest all this. Right? Can I start with the Cam situation first, and then I'll go back into Teddy Checkdown?
This is your mic, baby.
No. If you have to reel me back in. But this whole Cam Newton situation is just horrible mismanagement from the Panthers, starting at the top with David Jerry Jones Tepper, who I'm going to start calling him now because this man is coming in here and keeping Marty Hurney, who was fired, and they rehired him again. I am so sick of Marty Hurney. I don't even know how to even put this into words, Prim. I'm so sick of him. Okay, for those that don't know, and I got to make sure I get my numbers correct here. Cam Newton, on the last year of his deal, $19.1 million, which is a complete bargain for any type of quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I know he's injured. $19.1 million. It's non-guaranteed, right? Not that matters much to the Panthers at this point because they're going to get nothing for him. They're not going to get any of trade value because he's been injured and the coronavirus is keeping teams from looking at his medicals and having doctors take a look at him. So, okay. There has been so much angst amongst the players and a lot of these vets that have been released. Let me go down the list of the names, okay? We have no Luke Kuechly. Okay? No Cam. No Greg Olsen. No James Bradbury. No Trey Turner. No Eric Reed. No Gerald McCoy. No Vernon Butler. No Mario Addison. Okay? What is this team doing? Can you help me out here, Prim? What is this doing? You're not keeping Cam. You are signing Teddy Bridgewater for some reason. We'll get into that contract here in a minute. But the whole handling of all these vets, Cam saying that he didn't want to be traded, the Panthers saying he wanted to seek a trade. Then on the Instagram post by the Panthers, you have other players commenting that, basically hinting that there's a lot of shady business going on. Greg Olsen, Thomas Davis, Mario Addison. I tend to believe Cam on this one, to be honest with you. And you have Matt Rule lying to the media all offseason saying they want Cam back really bad. Face of the franchise, everybody's favorite player, and they just want to get rid of him, Prim. I don't understand it. I really don't. They're going to get no trade value for him, and I hope he ends up on the Chargers. I'm a Cam fan now. I'm not even a Panthers fan. I'm done. I'm going to be a New Orleans Buckeyes fan, or I'm going to be a fan of wherever Cam goes. Or the Browns.
That's the energy I'm feeling.
So, you know what? Oh, and Teddy Checkdown, the guy that they wanted to sign. Can I read you a stat, Prim, real quick about Teddy Checkdown?
Please.
Okay.
And you can, you might want to address this to one Zach Collis, who believes that Teddy Bridgewater is going to finish top 12 in pro PFF ranking.
Who said
as
this?
A quarterback?
Our good friend Zach.
Our friend Zach. Zach Collis. I hope you listen to this. We're keeping tabs, baby.
Zach, Teddy Checkdown averages 6.1 average depth of throw, lowest in the NFL. They're paying this man 3 years, $63 million. Okay? Now, for all you fantasy football fans out there, great for Christian McCaffrey. Not so good for Curtis Samuel, and for DJ Moore, great for Ian Thomas, okay? That is the guy. He wears two gloves, Prim.
You can't wear gloves as a quarterback. I'm sorry.
I was trying to talk myself into Teddy all day yesterday, and I was watching highlights, and he's throwing 2-yard passes, 3-yard passes, 4-yard passes, nothing downfield, and this is what I have to look forward to.
Here's what we talked about, right? If you're a Panthers fan, in the Trevor Lawrence, in the Justin Fields lottery next year, in the 2021 draft, and that's who you want, right? You're signing Teddy Bridgewater by all intents and purposes to be a stopgap for a drafted quarterback.
That's exactly right. Teddy Bridgewater gets you to 6-10,
and
right?
That's good enough to not be at the top. And I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. We're in fact saying he's just good enough to keep you from being bad to then rebound in the draft. And you could do just the same with a fan favorite in Cam Newton. I don't get it.
Bring him back for one more year. See if he's healthy. If he's healthy, great. If he's not, then you're going to be bad, and then you get a chance at Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields.
And you had no risk, but here we are. You're going to have to deal with it, and they're going to be just good enough. I mean, we saw with him and the Saints, Bridgewater was surrounded by a good team then. He won every game he started, but they were not pretty. We all remember that. He's not going to move the needle that much, but he's going to do just enough to prevent you from the Trevor Lawrence or the Justin Fields sweepstakes. We'll see.
I guess the big picture here, Prim, is that I have no idea the direction of this franchise. All these moves they made this offseason have indicated to me that they are trying to be bad, but then you sign Teddy Bridgewater. So I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
At that point, why wouldn't you just roll with Kyle Allen?
Exactly. Just be bad if you're going to be bad. Why not take a page out of the Dolphins playbook? Yes, they got criticized last year for some of the trades they made, like Minkah Fitzpatrick, but you knew they had a direction. That was get picks and be bad to get Tua. They had a direction, right? Some people didn't agree with it. I have no idea what the Panthers are doing. They've had the second worst offseason so far besides the most obvious one, the Texans. I mean, we can all agree on that, right? But
yes, sir.
And guess who leads the league in dead cap?
No
Panthers.
way.
No, you would have never guessed, right?
How?
What is it, $46 million in dead cap? That's just horrible mismanagement by our interim GM, Marty Herney.
Yikes.
$13 million more than anybody else.
So we already know we're both fam to this news filling the stopgap, but just clearly a nod to how this offseason is going for himself. And on that note, there's no better time to transition to You Played Yourself. First up, we mentioned it earlier. Before we get back to the NFL, You Played Yourself goes to Rudy Gobert. I mean, listen, I won't pick on him too much since this is actually serious. Like, for a lot of people, it's life and death. But are you fucking kidding me that Gobert didn't take COVID-19 seriously? This dude touching mics, being frivolous with his germs, and then he tested positive, putting others at risk. I mean, even if you don't fucking care, what's the fucking point of that joke? Who does that make feel better? Like, it's not that you weren't showing symptoms and you passed it on. You were sick. Who enjoys a joke like that? Even if COVID-19 wasn't a thing, if you have the sniffles, nobody wants to fucking be touched like that, Rudy. That's where I have a problem. You played yourself from the standpoint that even if you didn't take COVID seriously, what fucking good of a joke is it that you're fucking spreading your germs? What are you, 5?
This rant is better than my Panthers rant. This is amazing. Keep going, please.
It doesn't make sense, man. And then you single-handed, I mean, if there's one good thing that came from it, Rudy Gobert is a big name, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, past winner. If there's a good thing, it made people finally take it fucking serious. You're 7 feet fucking tall, grown-ass man. That's not a good joke.
No, it's not a good joke. Not to mention his teammates. There's now going to be a rift in the locker room, right? Donovan Mitchell is making comments on his Instagram related to this, and clearly the guys on the team have lost respect for him as well.
I mean, when basketball starts up, we'll all forget about the Jazz anyway, but...
Well, yeah, obviously, of course.
Anyway. Okay, so next up, you knew we were going to talk about it, right?
Go off, Prim.
You played yourself to Bill O'Brien and the Houston Texans.
Go off, Prim.
So, I'm dumbfounded by this move. How on fucking earth do you let go of DeAndre Hopkins for anything less than a first-round pick as a baseline? A first-round pick should be the starting point. There should be no offer that does not include a first-round pick for arguably the best receiver in the league. On no fucking planet does that make sense. Oh, wait. But they're saving money, you know? Instead of paying DeAndre Hopkins, who has a cap hit of $26 million, the next 2 years combined, the Texans, they're saving money, right? Fucking wrong. They're paying David Johnson and Randall Cobb cap hit of $38.5 million the next 2 years.
That's part of the glass team there.
You're telling me you'd rather have Randall Cobb and David Johnson than DeAndre Hopkins? No fucking chance. Oh, but they needed draft picks, They fucking traded away some solid players. They traded away solid players in Clowney and Hopkins and still don't have a fucking first-round pick. Instead, they offer him up like fucking candy to acquire Laramie Tunsil, right?
It's amazing they couldn't get anything of significant value for Clowney or Hopkins. I can't believe that. That is astonishing.
You didn't get a first-round pick between the two of them? Good God.
But, Prim, there's more to this story with Hopkins, right? There's got to be. If you're hearing stuff about, how Bill O'Brien didn't like that Hopkins was trying to run the playbook, or he was bringing his baby mamas around in
give me a fucking break with
facility.
Give me a fucking break with your face ass and that hint of racism, Bill.
No, it is.
Don't fucking play yourself with that bullshit.
But I've always hated him since his Penn State days.
This is from Nick Wright of Fox Sports. So these are some recent wide receiver trades, because we've had a lot lately. Odell Beckham Jr. was traded for a first, a third, and a fifth-round pick.
And we feel like that was a great deal for the Browns.
Incredible. So if you're telling me Odell Beckham gets a first, third, and fifth, and even if you fucking want David Johnson, at the very least, you should get a first, David Johnson, and a fifth. Even if you value David Johnson as a third-round pick, right? That should have been your measuring stick. Okay, fine. Brandon Cooks, what was he traded for? A first-round pick. He was traded for a first-round pick 2 different fucking times.
He was.
Brandon Cooks was. What did he do in LA this past year? No one fucking remembers. Stephon Diggs was traded for a fucking boatload to Buffalo. We mentioned it earlier.
Aside from OBJ, not in the same galaxy as DeAndre Hopkins.
Amari Cooper, I love the man. He produced for the Cowboys. He produced. I'm telling you, his route running is just a fucking piece of art. He was traded for first. And DeAndre Hopkins. Nuke fucking Hopkins. He's so good, his nickname is Nuke. He was traded for a second-round pick and a running back on a negative contract who is legitimate fine china. Like, he could get injured stepping off a fucking bus.
Who Cliff Kingsbury wanted nothing to do with. Not a thing.
Like, what the fuck were you thinking? You literally could have called any team. Like, any team. You could have said, listen, there's a team that offered me this. And if you would have called any fucking team in the league, they would have given you more. They said, wait, no, don't do that deal. We'll give you more. This just proves, like, Bill O'Brien is that fucking dumb. He seriously, and I'm not exaggerating. I know I yell a lot. You number one podcast listeners, you know.
We love to hear it, Prim.
You know the petty energy.
We love it, Prim. No, we
but
like to
I'm
yell.
honestly serious. I don't think he called another team. Because if he did, I have no doubt he would have gotten more.
Easily a first.
The Cardinals had no leverage. They traded for Kenyon Drake. Davy Johnson's coming off an injury. What leverage did the Cardinals have? Like, this is the piece you need. The Texans got fucking 1,000 yards rushing from Carlos Hyde. They don't need him.
Okay, side note. If you're Deshaun Watson, what are you thinking right now? What are you thinking right now?
Michael Thomas tweeted it. Our guy, Can't Guard Mike, tweeted, listen, with news of that meeting that happened between O'Brien and Hopkins, Deshaun should not re-sign there. He is given no benefit of the doubt. Unless O'Brien's gone, I don't think Watson deserves to give him anything. I know he owes the fans of Houston. The fans of Houston don't deserve this, but he owes fucking O'Brien nothing.
Just like your star players in the NBA and in the NFL, always choose the franchise quarterback over the coach or GM. Always. And throwing caution to one of all these other teams. Do not let your coach be the fucking GM.
Never. Nobody's Bill Belichick. That role dies with him. When he retires, it's over.
That's a one and done type of role.
Don't fucking bother. Oh, also, if you were wondering if this trade checks out in Madden, it fucking doesn't.
No.
I don't know who was wondering that, but it doesn't. And listen, I know I tried to do this justice, but I have a special treat for you guys. I'm not the only one that needs to rant. My Cowboys are dysfunctional, but for once in my life, it's not them causing me pain. They actually did their job. They signed Amari Cooper. I hope they don't fuck it up with Dak, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I have a special treat for you. My family, we're split. Half my family is Texans fans, the other half's Cowboys fans. Well, listen, I couldn't even make fun of my family that are Texans fans, which includes my own brother.
You just feel sad at this point. Like,
I feel sorry. I couldn't enjoy it. I couldn't enjoy it.
It hurts too much. You can't even make fun.
We can't. So, despite them asking to pour it on, they wanted to rip the Band-Aid off, I couldn't. But what I could give them was some fucking airtime. So, without further ado, I have a special treat for you, number one podcast listeners. My fam, I love them dearly. I got a couple clips from family. The first one from my big bro. We share the same gene pool, the same habits. He's somehow a Texans fan. Maybe not for long, but here goes my brother, V. Schbot.
Let's fucking go, Saints!
Here's another one. This one is from my cousin, Rush. My guy was good enough to put together, just like my guy Jeff over here, some organized thoughts, and you guys enjoy this.
Yo, what's up? It's Rosh. I'm Premal's cousin. I live in Houston. I've been kind of airing my grievances to the abyss over the last couple of days. So shout out to Prem for giving me the platform to yell to you number one podcast listeners, just like you guys hear Prem will do every week for the Cowboys. It's my turn for the Texans, so shout out to him. My family has been Texans fans from the jump. My brother, myself, and my dad, we go to the games. We've been season ticket holders since 2010. So this is definitely the worst moment in Texans history. And leave it to Bill O'Brien for doing that. And he's had a shitload of bad moments. So I'm going to go ahead and read off of a list of 5 terrible moments just because I fucking hate myself. 1, he blew a 24-0 lead in the divisional round just this year in the playoffs. 2, he lost 30-0 in a wildcard game to the same team at home. 3, he started Tom Savage in the season opener after moving up in the fucking draft to get Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, he's definitely top 5 in the league right now, and he started Tom Savage over him. 4, we were getting blown out by the Miami Dolphins. Distant memory, but sure, they were probably pretty good at one point. We were getting blown out 41-0. He ran Arian Foster about 10 times after that, and he ended up tearing his fucking Achilles in that game, and that pretty much ended his career. And 5, it's not the worst, but it's bad enough. Tom Brady was suspended for 4 games. We had a game against New England. We lost 27-0 against Jacoby Brissett. These are just in-game things that he's blown. I'm gonna also recap 5 people he's shown the door since he got here. 1, Andre Johnson. 2, Arian Foster. 3, Dwayne Brown. 4, Jadeveon Clowney. And 5, DeAndre Hopkins. These are 5 of probably the 6 best Texans in franchise history. Leave J.J. Watt up in there somewhere in the top 5, but these other 5 guys are in the top 5. It's insane. It's like a cruel pattern. Now that I've listed off this guy's, I'm not going to call him this guy. He's a fucking war criminal. Let me point to every presser interview where he's always said, it's on me. I got to coach better. We got to be more prepared. He does this all the fucking time, and he does what many coaches should do and take blame. But the funny thing is Cal McNair keeps giving him more and more responsibility. He just named him officially and literally the GM of the team this year. And his first blockbuster trade was to trade fucking DeAndre Hopkins. He literally, toilet paper is more valuable on Amazon than DeAndre Hopkins was to Butt Chin Bob. This is by far the worst trade in NFL history. I didn't look up any articles comparing it to anything else, but I'm pretty sure I don't need to know that trading a guy who's been all-pro 3 straight years for a guy who's been all-glass 2 straight years is a fucking shit deal, especially when Stephon Diggs and his bum ass got a return of 4 picks. And if you got any amount of first-rounders, I'd be crying, but I'd probably be okay with it. Now I'm just kind of sitting here stewing, prepping the verbal Molotov cocktails that I'm going to throw through his fucking office window. And then we come to find out all this was over about $5 million. DeAndre wanted $18 million a year-ish. Okay, Amari Cooper just got $20 fucking million a year, and he can't even lace Hopkins' cleats. No offense to my cousin and any Cowboys fans, but that's a fact. Y'all know it. Not only that, we signed a Cowboys leftover, Randall Cobb, at $9 million a year. That's your backup plan? In the last year, we got rid of 2 all-pro players and have gotten exactly 0 first-rounders back. It is a crime. Gary Kubiak was a better coach, and he once had a stroke in the middle of a game. Rick Smith is a better GM, and he once drafted Amobi Okoye before Patrick Willis and Darrelle Revis. Bob McNair is a better owner than Cal McNair, and he's racist, and he's dead. I will be putting up my entire family season tickets for sale. I'm going to turn a fucking profit and make sure that I'm on message boards making sure that opposing fans buy the seats. Also, go Saints. That's my new fucking team now.
You know, see, it's not me. It runs in the family, guys. Like my bro Jeff over here, he already gave you a little taste, but I wanted to give him a little bit more platform in case he needs to get anything more off his chest. Last but not least on You Played Yourself goes to the Carolina Panthers. And specifically, they said they give Cam Newton permission to seek a trade. Cam said, and I'll paraphrase, quote, bitch you thought, end quote, you're forcing me out. And now it is looking like they're likely going to have to release him. A beloved dude who right now cannot prove his health because people aren't allowed to visit facilities and he can't get evaluated by their team doctors. Jeff, would you like to take this one?
Fuck my team. That's what I want to say. I'm fucking done with this team right now.
Let's go.
I've lost a lot of sleep over this fucking team over the last couple of years, Prem. So much sleep. Every Sunday, I'm angry in the afternoon at about 4:25 because we only play 1 o'clock games because we're a small market team. I am so done with this team. Prem?
Do you want the honors?
No, help me find a new team. Sound it.
Let's go.
Teddy alert. Teddy alert. Teddy alert.
Yeah. I have a lot of loved ones at a crossroads right now. You just heard my family ready to jump ship to the Saints. Jeff's contemplating his future. This is what teams fucking do, man. This is what they do. And my theory is, listen, someone like the Panthers or the Texans, especially Bill O'Brien, Here's what I think they should have to do. They should have to fucking sit at a fucking roundtable type discussion and listen to fans yell in their fucking faces and not be allowed to say shit. Like, they just have to take it. Because I think then they would truly understand the gravity of what they're doing. People spend their hard-earned money buying gear, going games. You just went to a game last year in Carolina and decided to go there. Like, you spend your hard-earned fucking money just for them to fucking shit on it.
And this is so therapeutic.
They might as well fucking Rudy Gobert you.
This is so therapeutic. And you know what? I didn't even have a coherent thought. I just wanted to scream into the mic because that's how I've been feeling the last 2 days.
Amen. That's what I'm here for, buddy.
Thank you. I needed that.
Okay, on that note, let's go on to who you got and what you feeling. Our last episode, I had Thomas on, and Thomas is a really great scout of quarterbacks. We talked a little bit about the upcoming NFL draft, which, by the way, speaking of COVID-19, it will not have spectators, but the plan is still to have the draft. So for all of us that love that week, which I don't know why you wouldn't, that'll still go on. We talked about who he thought the third quarterback taken would be, assuming that Burrow and Tua went 1 and 2. Thomas thought it would be Herbert, but his dark horse is Eason. He's the person that nobody's talking about. I asked him how many quarterbacks would be taken in round 1. The over-under was set at 4.5.
What are you taking, Prim?
I'm going under.
I'm going under.
Yeah,
I think
that's what Thomas thought too. Thomas thought there'd be 4. So that would be Burrow, Tua, Eason, and Herbert, his top 4.
I have Love instead of Eason.
Yeah, people... So that's something we talked about. Thomas did not get I don't mean this, like, no pun intended, the love about Love.
Oh, that was a good one.
It's mostly a size thing, but he didn't see anything on the tape in his evaluation that led him to believe that he should be higher. I personally do not like any quarterbacks in round 1 past Burrow and Tua.
Yeah.
I'm not reaching for any one of them. I think... if they fall in round 2, then we're talking. I'm all about the value. I'm not going for one of those because none of them impress me enough to do it.
I'm all about Burrow and Tua, assuming Tua can stay healthy. But I'm not really in love with any of these quarterbacks, to be honest.
Right. And the other thing we talked about was the MVP race, LeBron versus Giannis. COVID is robbing us temporarily, at least, for a chance at LeBron making his push to get MVP. I was for it, but we'll see what happens when they resume. I was LeBron right now. Thomas was still on the Giannis train for MVP.
I think I agree with Thomas on this one. I know
a lot of people do.
I knew you'd be on the LeBron train for the MVP, but
my guy, Legod. I just think my point was that Giannis was not being penalized the same way past people in the East have been. The East has not been as formidable this past year, and previous years, people like LeBron himself, while in the Cavs, have been penalized.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think that same penalty should be served. The East lost talent. There's no other way to put it. I felt that the team offense, the productivity of the Lakers goes in the shitter without LeBron, and I didn't feel the same impact with Giannis.
Okay, I can see that.
All right, this week, a little different, obviously. We got to talk about what we have. I wanted to get your take on what your favorite move of NFL free agency is so far. We recapped them all. I won't go over them, but what move you liking the most? I'm assuming it's not Bridgewater.
No, Prim, it is not Bridgewater.
Too soon.
Way too soon. But I'm talking myself a little bit into Teddy, kind of watching a little bit of his highlights, dumping it down to all his running backs, knowing that could be McCaffrey. Jack Conklin. I think this is kind of a no-brainer, to be honest. 3 years, $42 million, shows up that right tackle spot. One of the better tackles that was available for free agency, and that was one of the Browns' weaknesses. I didn't think it was a monster contract. It's not a super lengthy one either. So that's, to me, is easily one of the best free agency moves. What about you?
Yeah, I completely agree. I actually think it might be Cleveland's best move in the last few off seasons. I know they've made some huge splashes, but sometimes it's the moves that don't make those splashes that matter the most. Listen, Bakey Bakes has run out of excuses because they added Conklin. I know they're in line, that one position doesn't show up the whole line, but you got to think they're adding one in the draft. You're starting to run out of excuses here, so you better start fucking producing Bakey Bakes.
Stop going to Cheesecake Factory and go watch some film. That girl never messaged me back, by the way.
Damn.
Baker's girl never messaged me back.
Mr. Steal Your Girl over here trying to steal Bakes.
I do. Hey,
he's just trying to help out Baker, guys. He's doing a service, Browns fans.
Babe, if you're listening, I got Cheesecake Factory $25 gift card.
Don't leave my guy on red. And obviously, I think we both agree on this. The Hopkins, as far as not free agent but trade moves, the Hopkins.
Oh, no brainer, easily the best
Arizona
trade.
Is huge.
Well, you don't think the Russell Okung for Trey Turner trade did that get your juices flowing, Prim?
Yikes!
Yikes!
I didn't even bring that move up.
That wasn't even move worthy. So okay, just wanted to.
At least they got
on that real quick.
I mean, they downgraded that line, but at least he's not a fucking scrub.
And he's only like 5 years old.
He's not the Cleo brothers.
No.
Oh, the other one I loved was Calais Campbell going to Baltimore for fucking just nothing
that
again.
That was like a bag of donuts.
I don't understand that move. He's going to feast. He did really great for the Jaguars, and they just kind of let him go. He's a huge piece and leader. But
I love when teams like that make moves where you're giving up useless 5th, 6th, 7th round picks for proven talent. I absolutely love those kind of moves.
Oh, you know what? One of my favorite moves of the offseason is the fucking Patriots losing Tom Brady.
Amen.
Fucking right. I can't wait till you guys feel the fucking pain that the rest of us have to feel. Nobody fucking feels bad. Just fucking save it. Save it and take it. Enjoy Jared Stidham, whoever the fuck you field out there, and I hope you fucking suck. Signed every fucking buddy.
But you know my worst nightmare is going to come to fruition, right?
Your boy Cam's going to.
Cam's going to go there. He's going to ball out. He's going to be healthy and get a new contract. And then I have to somewhat root for the Patriots.
No, we can't do that.
Okay, I won't.
Just the fatigue. They're so fucking spoiled. And you gotta love that Boston fans lose Mookie Betts and Tom Brady in 30 days' time. You really hate to see it, but you really fucking don't. Love it. Okay. And the other one, a little hypothetical for you.
Okay.
Given the COVID situation, barring you could be safe, if you could have one sporting event back during COVID-19, what would it be? Something that it's taken, what would you pick? And further, if you pick the NCAA tournament, I need specifics. We talking round 1, round 2, what do we got? Shh. Oh. It's the Masters.
Prim, did I throw you for a loop there?
I did not expect that.
I feel like you might have thought it would be the NCAA tournament or some NBA playoffs, or no, it's the Masters for me, Prim.
Wow.
Yep, it really is. I love Tiger winning it last year. Just really got me going into it. It's one of my favorite events, not just golf events. It's one of my favorite sporting events is the Masters.
I dig that one. That was a dark horse. I am gonna go with. I'll be very specific. I'll go with the opening Friday of March Madness. I would have loved to have that back. It's always like a day everybody skips work, it feels like. You have game after game on 4 different TVs. It is like exactly what the American way was meant for. So one in particular, I kind of raised it on my list because I know it is not coming back. I gotta say I love your Masters pick. And for those of you that are in your negative ways right now, just keep this in mind. A lot of these events are being postponed. So, when it is finally safe, we'll say safely in the fall, right? We could see ourselves with just an abundance of sports all at once.
Could you imagine how great that would be?
You got the Masters, you got college football starting, you got NBA playoffs. Like, we'll never see anything like it. It'll just be sports on every channel imaginable. So, just stick it out, guys. Catch up on your TV shows, and we'll be back,
Prim, give them a TV show. Is there a TV show that you can give the people in this time right now?
Here are my classics. Stop fucking wasting your time with these new fucking TV shows that nobody's ever heard of. Just bullshit, okay?
Love is Blind? You don't want that, Prim?
Get that shit out of here. I don't give a shit about The Bachelor, none of that. Watch the classics. If you haven't seen Breaking Bad, if you haven't seen The Wire, if you haven't seen shows like that, do yourself a fucking favor and know what you're talking about. I can't take you serious if you haven't seen the classics, so watch The Sopranos. Watch The Wire. Watch shows like that. Give me something to have a conversation with you about. I don't give a shit about this reality bullshit, and I don't care about these new shows that don't fucking hold a candle to them. Watch the GOATs, and then let's talk. Let's fucking talk and have a real discussion about the great shows. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones yet, like, the fuck you waiting on?
That's inexcusable at this point. But Prim, did you catch the Bachelor finale the other day? It was so juicy.
Fuck out of here with that.
It was so juicy.
Get out of here with that. Okay, Jeff. What are you feeling?
That's a great question, Prim. And I'm feeling Don Toliver's latest album.
Oh, yeah.
He's my guy right now. I've been vibing with him. It's he kind of is my type of music. Would you not agree? I feel like he fits me perfectly. I've been kind of jamming to it a little bit. Cardigan's kind of a flame on his latest album.
Yes,
I'm really feeling him right now. So I just wanted to make sure I give a shout out to all those.
Yeah.
It kind of gives like somewhat of like a Post Malone vibe. He's my dude right now.
He's
a little bit, you know.
My cousin called him Travis Scott Light.
Oh,
and I kind of like that.
High praise. That's high praise.
Hey, he's under Travis's label. He's a Cactus Jack artist. Highly recommend him. His debut album is called Heaven or Hell. Big in favor of that. Also, another one, I think I mentioned it last episode, but Uzi Vert released another album. So if you're late on that, Jeff, you're one of them late.
I know I'm late, and then Rob's
other dude,
one of our other friends is not feeling it. And
I have too many friends that are just, I don't know, they're lost, I guess. It's a weird time. But anyway, what you're feeling is kind of on the same, as a public health professional, you know, I have a lot of information to offer for COVID, but what I'm feeling is people that go find reputable sources to get their information. You know, go to your state department of health, your local health department, their websites. Go to the CDC's website. Don't get your information from people that don't know exactly what they're talking about. Get them from reputable sources. And my other thing is, you know, outside of sports, I'm a positive guy, right? So my silver lining of social distancing during COVID-19 is that maybe y'all fucking cheap asses will stop taking teachers, medical professionals, and service industry folks for granted for once. Teachers don't get paid enough. Medical professionals are risking their fucking lives while you fucks go on spring break and buy up all the masks and shit. And then stop fucking sucking at tipping. Now you're seeing what happens and the impact when those people are out of work. You guys don't fucking tip well enough. Here's your opportunity to reevaluate how you fucking see things, and you better fucking appreciate it after. If there's one thing this is doing, is resetting our frame of mind, and hopefully you use it to do that, amongst other things like spending quality time.
Amen, Prim. Amen. Listen to my guy Prim here.
That's what I'm feeling, and that leads right into my too much sense. You know how I like to end each episode giving advice, usually more than 2 cents worth. You know, times suck right now. There's no other way to put it. Find small victories in shitty situations. You get to spend time with your loved ones at home. You get caught up on a show. You can meditate. Do something that you can get a small win from. Like, fucking do something for yourself. Get caught up on something around the house you didn't think you'd get a chance to do. You know, it's easy to be negative. It's very easy to pour on and add to that. But be a force of good. Strive to be different. You know, there's so many people out there being bummed about shit. Try to be someone who's not. This has been another edition of the #1 podcast in your headphones, Prem Brulee. I'm Premal Bot. He's Jeff Robison. Thanks, my guy, for joining me.
Prem, thanks so much for having me, my man.
This is the first, not the last, man.
I better not be. I feel like I'm going to have some Adam Driver anxiety with seeing or hearing my own voice for the first time over the waves. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get over that. It's going to take me a little bit of time. You know, I know he's, as an actor, he doesn't like seeing himself play roles.
Oh, and that's right.
I'm going to be a podcast guy that doesn't know if I want to hear my own voice.
Well, you better be back, my guy. You know the drill. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. There's no excuse. You're social distancing. Bless your eardrums. Pass it on to another person, you know? And we'll talk to you next time.
Prem Brulee, let's go!